Welcome once again, and now the conversation moves to Nigeria, where a student of Anglican Girls Secondary School, Nnewi, Anambra State, Ejikeme Mmesoma, who was accused of inflating her Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, UTME, result, has finally spoken up about the issue. In a statement, JAMB spokesperson Fabian Benjamin said the student, who was widely celebrated over her 362 scores, said to be the highest for 2023 UTME, actually scored 249 in the exam.
Benjamin said the student tampered with the original result to curry favor, adding that the result will be withdrawn while Mmesoma would face prosecution. In her statement yesterday, the student maintains that she printed her result from JAMB portal and she was not capable of forging her result.
She said she was invited by the Department of State Services, DSS, where her statement was taken, and she was told that investigation was ongoing. She added that she was traumatized by the incident and maintained that there must be a problem somewhere. And there's a short video we're going to have you watch of Ejikeme Mmesoma. She, of course, explained what happened.
I'm the owner of these results. I went to JAMB portal to print these results, and this is what they gave me. This is the result here. So this is my aggregate 362. This is exactly how I printed it. I downloaded it from that site. So they now saying that I forged my results is what I don't know, and I'm traumatized that they accused me of forging my own results, because I am not capable of this forging results. This is the evidence. Okay, they say that I forged my results. They scanned this QR code there, and it showed another name, a Yoruba name, Omotola Afolabi, 138. And that same person that got 138, they checked again, the person got 338. Meaning that there is problem. There is problem somewhere. So, and we went to Commissioner of Education office on Friday last week. My principal and the Educational Secretary of Anglican Girls Secondary School, or Anglican Diocese. So we went there. We showed all these results to Commissioner of Education, both this one and the SMS they sent to me. And she snapped it and sent to the JAMB official. They called back saying that this is a forged result, that I forged it myself, that the JAMB office don't have the record of this. So they now say that I forged it, and they called the DSS over to come to her office. The DSS, they took us to their office and we made our statements there, and they said they will contact us later, that they are going to investigate these results to know where the source came from. So that's what they said, and instead of them to wait for the investigation to be over, they posted that I forged my results without confirming. So I'm not.
Well, there you have it. Ejikeme Mmesoma, of course, explaining her side of the story, and a couple of things that should be mentioned. If you remember, a couple of years ago, over time, we've every now and then spoken really about how the Nigerian police has been brought into cases that really shouldn't concern them. They've been cheapened, and we just spoke about police orderlies being used as errand men and women. It's mostly because of how they got themselves involved in things that really shouldn't concern them, and people then use them that way. Same thing was said about the Nigerian army, how they were getting themselves as the army involved in cases that the police should be handling. And people lost respect and value for the Nigerian army over time. That's exactly what the DSS has gotten itself involved in with, or on this level with now. Because what's the DSS business, really? With is a situation where JAMB is, without even properly investigating and proving beyond reasonable doubt that this was a forged result and that there was a crime committed here, without going through that process, you accuse this young girl of this level of forgery, and then the DSS is involved in a situation like this. This is Nigeria's Nigeria's highest ranking secret police formation, is getting themselves involved in a situation like this. And this is what I'm talking about. You belittle yourselves by getting yourself involved in things like this without even understanding understand what you're doing to yourself. So there's that part. And then second, I feel it is, I mean, if you look at the conversations that have occurred since this happened, you can still sense the tribalism that has occurred in the last couple of days since this has occurred. You know, the whole, name calling because she's from Anambra, all of that happened. And the fact that JAMB has not been able to prove beyond reasonable doubt that this person forged this result. Right. They instead just jumped out with an accusation and everybody ran with it.
I just feel that, I mean, you've highlighted what I wanted to say in a number of ways, right? First of all, what is the role of the DSS? It's something that we should ask. How is Mmesoma's, Ejikeme's potential result being forged? How is that a threat to domestic security? How is that a national security rather? How is that a national threat? Is a question that we're asking and we're seeking. We're hoping that it can clarify with answers. We do believe that it's an issue of misplaced priorities. There are a number of issues that require the DSS to step in that they haven't been seen to step.
This is definitely not one of them.
A number of issues. Yeah. If we start to name, we would run out. But this is certainly not one of them. That's one. Two, what they've done is kind of akin to what the police do when it comes to identification. It should be identification parade, right? But in a way, they're doing it the wrong way. So you arrest people, you haven't done any investigation, you take mock shots of them, and you release these mock shots on social media. It is an infringement of their rights, the right to dignity of human person. Yes. You're treating them less than human. And if the investigation is conducted and it is found out that this girl is innocent, then they would have a case to answer.
Oh, but not likely in Nigeria, but
they should have a case to answer, right? Because there wasn't any presumption of innocence done here. There wasn't any investigation conducted. You came, you saw, and this is a country where we talk about having challenges with technology. Yeah. We're still suffering the effect of the ones we saw during the elections. Now we're still seeing them in court. They come and tell you about it can glitch during elections. But it can't glitch with Ejikeme's.
And if you look at the reactions to this, there's a couple of people who also said that yes, they've had the same issues when checking their JAMB results. That the results that they saw were once or twice was different by the third time that they checked. And she also said the same thing, that if you scan the QR code in that sheet there, it shows a different name entirely, a Yoruba name, Afolabi something, which is a totally different name, and a totally different result also. So there is a possibility that the JAMB server, JAMB system itself, had its own glitch and, presented this result to her. But instead of JAMB itself to take responsibility and investigate properly and understand why, these things, the possibility of these things happening, and, why she was given this printout. She said she received an SMS from JAMB, and that's the result that also showed, from the JAMB SMS. Then, instead of them to do that, they instead went ahead to accuse this young girl of forgery. And
a simple statement to say, that result is not correct. We don't quite understand what has happened, but we're going to investigate.
That's all.
And get to the root of it. Finish.
That's all.
They didn't need to come out and say she had forged it. It's just an unfortunate incident. So we hope that there is more investigation that is being done and that we have a correct picture of what exactly occurred here. I can't imagine the trauma that she and her family have to deal with. She's a young girl. Even celebrities deal and struggle with the trauma of being labeled wrongly. And here, as far as we're concerned, our position is that she's innocent until proven guilty.
And this is what makes it worse, that we even got, I saw posts by social media influencers or handles, some clowns on social media, because that's what they are, clowns, posting her picture with headlines like Nigeria's youngest fraudster, Nigeria's youngest Yahoo girl.
When all of this is done, I hope that when we get to the bottom of this, that all the blogs and all the handles that posted that fraudulent information will be also made to come and answer.
Not very likely. And the reason that these things happen is because there is no punishment for bad behavior. And I keep continuously saying that there's no punishment for bad behavior across Nigeria. As long as, we continue to live in that system, then nobody will be punished. Those handles, those people who labeled her, a criminal and all of that, they know that, almost nothing would happen.
And they politicized it. Everything we
Absolutely.
seem to exploit every little situation.
Absolutely.
We politicize it, make it a thing of religion or tribe. We've made it into a tribal war. and it's just very unfortunate. But we certainly will bring in more updates as we hear. We hope that more investigation, like we said, is being done, that the matter, they get to the root of the matter. There are lawyers who have offered to be connected to Mmesoma to ensure that they bring up a case against JAMB and against, the necessary individuals. But we'll keep you updated as we get more reports in this regard.